Do I have audio now? It says I do. How about now, monkey? Do I have audio now? Are you sure? Are you sure you're not muted? There we go. All right. This has been hard. This particular one has been hard because, okay, so right now, this is the best night for me to do this, right? The problem is that the best way for me to be visible is to keep the fire going. And I mean keep the fire going hard and steady. Problem is that means that it gets even hotter around here. And I don't know why. I had set this up right before I came on. I set this up. Everything was good. And it was seeing the Yeti. So I thought, okay, well, then I've got my audio set. And now it says I didn't have audio. So good evening, everybody. It is time once again for Fireside Lore. I am T. Call me T Monster. Call this Scotch. And the reason that I have all this extra space here is not so you can see me pour Scotch. But it is because my wife just got a call. Oh, dear Lord. I'm out of Scotch. Oh, no. The last of the Scotch. Giggity. That was a Highland Park, let's see, what was this one? This one was Highland Park Call of the Raven. And it was a special limited edition that came out of Germany. So, does the audio sound okay? The audio sounds good? Because the thing is, so again, as I was saying earlier, the reason I have no Pip here with me right now is because right as I was getting ready to go live, Pip got a video call from New Zealand. It's her folks wishing her a happy birthday. So she is chit-chatting with the folks. I am basically stoking the fire, and I'm going to take on a few of the. I'm going to pick up a few of the embers here. And thank you for joining me on Fireside Lore. Just trying to figure out the best way to get the most light out of this. I think I might have to get a low light camera the next time I try this. There we go. That might be possible. There we go. Oh, now it's working. Now you can see me. Now you can see me. I think I actually got quality wood on now, because for whatever reason the wood that I had earlier was not casting any light whatsoever. No, this is not grounded. Sorry. But this is Fireside Lore, and it is not going. I don't know if I'm going to get all 20 entries in, because right now, to keep the fire going so that you can see me, yeah, that requires a lot of. That requires a lot of wood and a lot of heat. And right now it's not too bad out here, especially when the breeze comes in. But man, it is hot. But you know what? Fireside Lore, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing this a lot. Oh, spider. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you, Chavez. All right, let's do this though. Let me first make sure that this isn't playing. Perfect. All right. So tonight's Fireside Lore, I thought it'd be a good idea to do readings from the singular exeget. The singular exeget. And I hope I'm pronouncing that better than George R. R. Martin pronounced some names of Hugo winners. But I'm going to assume that's what it is, the singular exeget. I need my wife out here for words like this, because she went to a private school, so she's way smarter than me. I could have told you that. And for those of you who are new to the stream, good evening. How are you? We are doing Fireside Lore. This is something I do as part of my channel points. If you look at the bottom, if you're not familiar with channel points, if you look at the bottom of your chat interface, you'll see where it says Golden Gears. And for Golden Gears high-end Golden Gear investment, people ask for different stuff to do. There's Drunk Destiny, that's on mine. I owe someone that, so I've got to find a good night when I can do that. There's doing a tier 3, redeeming for tier 3 subs, so that I can donate $25 to St. Jude, which I will be doing once I get a job. But there's another thing there called Fireside Lore. And what that is, that for every 100,000 golden gears that you collect on this stream, if you, like there, right there, Fireside Lore for 10K. Thank you, noob. I appreciate that. Perhaps steampunk. We see. I thought about some lanterns. The problem is that I can't find any currently in the house, and I think what it is it's just a matter of making sure that the fire stays stoked, which is perfect because that is the whole point of Fireside Lore. But for every 100,000, I'm sorry, not 100,000. For every 10,000 pieces of golden gears that you redeem, I will read one piece of Fireside Lore. And for the past couple of weeks, it's been really bad weather. And this is as cool as it's going to get for an August night. Why people do s'mores in July and August, two of the hottest months of the year, I will never understand. But there you have it. But for every 10,000 golden gears, you get one piece of Fireside Lore. I have 20, now 21, thanks to Noob. I will make sure to make a note of that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go on ahead and I wanted to read some of the Fireside Lore for the singular exeget. Exeget. That sounds right. The singular exeget. This is the lore that we are currently collecting every week, and we turn in to Eris Morn. So I think this would be a good one to start with. All right.
Hi, human.
Hey, how you doing there?
It's very humid out here.
It is very humid out here. There's a cord around there somewhere. So just be. If you're doing it, you're getting the ingredients, you're putting it together. I am barely got all this working because to keep enough light on me, I've got to keep that fire stoked. So right now we're doing a lot. So if you want to do that, you're in charge of it. Okay. Speaking of s'mores, the daughter is crazy for s'mores, and I can't blame her. I cannot blame her. But man, have s'mores on a cooler time of the year than August. Okay. So, this is the first entry in the singular exeget, and this was the first piece of lore that we got concerning the darkness and concerning the different means to an end mission that we were doing. Here we go. This one's called Protected. Reported by VanNet Encrypted Router. Reference obvious. The enemy insinuates that we are hobbled by the traveler's protection. Denied our full potential. This is expected. Our foe comprehends only violence and its beauty. Personal notes scratched in hive leather with a flake of Ionian stone. The tired insinuation that protection is weakness. I expected more from our great foe. When we hunted the first trespasser on the moon, I discovered the journal of a Golden Age commander. Kuang Zhang had faith and training. Still, the darkness seduced her. And this is the insidious power that turned her against her god. I am learning to cook. I salvaged a hot plate back on the moon. It was vacuum welded to the countertop, and I had to cut it free. My hands ache, but they are steadier. Cousin Asher, you would find the concept of vacuum welding upsetting. Press two sheets of metal together in a void, and their atoms cannot tell which sheet they belong to. They cross freely. The two become one. I sleep beside an intruding pyramid. I am deep in its shadow. Back in the tower, beneath the traveler, could they understand how I am vacuum welded to the enemy? Ikora would understand. She studied the Taken with me, despite the risks. And Zavala values foresight. But he also fears their next Lysander, the next Toland, the next Rizel Azir. He fears what I could teach his guardians. He is weary of being the ones to say no, when all his guardians shout yes, yes. But it is his duty, and he loves when duty hurts. forceful angled cuts. I am afraid that if I go on, I will lose everything I have regained. All my peace, all trusts, all my hopes, and I will even destroy my dear friend who fights where I cannot. A blank space. I need to make a walk. I'm going to take an angle grinder to the rotor disc from an old rover. I must find cooking oil to season it. I will search through Cousin's old caches tomorrow. Tonight, I cook fried rice. Rice and raisins will come from my stores. The recipe calls for pineapple. Is this a joke? A pine-flavored apple? I will substitute breadfruit, if I can find it. So that was protected. That was protected. And this is scotch. Cheers. Oh, that's good scotch. I hope everyone's okay. I will continue on with the lore in just a moment. Hope everyone's had a good week. I've had a really odd weekend of literally trials and tribulations. Today I was in trials, and willingly I was in trials. Every time, it's funny. Every time I hear people talk about trials, they always go, "Oh, I'm sorry," or "Oh, why are you doing this to yourself?" They always make a joke about being a glutton for punishment. I actually dig trials. I don't know what it is about trials, but I kind of enjoy it. Now, granted, I am playing on PS4, and I know that the PS4 vibe is very different from the PC or the Xbox side of trials. But things got a little rough in trials today, and that was coming on the heels of Saturday when I went into the Iron Banner for the first time. And I was on Iron Banner on the PC. Now, I knew it was going to be a different level of play, and I knew the people involved. It was going to change, obviously, the lobbies and the level of player, and I got that. But man, I was struggling. I was really, really struggling, and yeah, it was a really rough weekend. A really rough weekend. I mean, I guess that's the thing. I want to get better, and sometimes when you want to get better, you gotta fall on your knees and pick yourself back up again. But when I feel like I'm not learning anything, when I feel like I'm not growing as a player, that's where I go. I think it's time. I called this. I think it's time I called this. So yeah. So that happened. And I keep looking at the camera, just glancing at the camera, and I don't think this is working out. So what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to change the host camera. It's just too dim. It's just too dim. But if I switch over to this one, this might. Wow, that's not much better now, is it? And this is the camera for the Mac. Let's see if I can adjust. Let me see if I can adjust this camera real quick, and then we'll get back to the lore. I thought I would be able to. Let's see what happens. I know. Scintillating content, don't you think? No, actually, this camera is not much better. So you know what? Let's switch back over to Yo TD0013. How you doing? Interesting. I actually have better light on this one, but that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, let's get back to the lore. I think we're going to go on ahead and do a little more. Well, actually, not do a little more. We're going to actually do quite a bit more. Okay. So next up from the singular exeget, this is the second piece of lore we collected. This is called Eggshell. Report by Van Net Encrypted Router. The bird cannot fly until it leaves the eggshell. The enemy continues to suggest that we must abandon the traveler. This is a good sign. It would not need to entice us if it could destroy us without effort. Personal notes scored in hive leather with a knife. Tidal volcanism and Jupiter's plasma breath. Let's try that one again. Tidal volcanism and Jupiter's plasma breath made Io into a treasure trove of chemistry for the traveler's work. A good wok must be seasoned in the same way. I'm heating it with sunflower oil from Cousin Asher's cache. There were many fine things, all untouched. He denies himself. I ache from the hike. Akora says I'm full of hairline fractures and deep muscle trauma. I never noticed until other pains had healed. The illusions of recovery, one pain obscures the other. There is danger in this traffic with the pyramid. Kuangzang's logs made that plain. But I must continue. I must continue. What worth have I ever been except that I know the enemy? More worth, Mara would remind me. I am more than my uses. So, what bird would we become if we left the traveler behind? There are 4 obvious examples. We might survive as raiders on the edge. We might take the enemy's sacrament to become its slave. We might abandon our humanity for machines. We might rise up in war and build an empire. Yet none of these 4 can be the answer. Fallen, Vex, Cabal, and Hive all covet the traveler. They have not left it behind. If all things beyond the traveler's protection fall under this suzerainty of... let me try that word again. If all things beyond the traveler protect... Let's try that again. The heat's getting to me. If all things beyond the traveler's protection fall under the darkness, not because they serve it, but because they are obedient to its law, then to leave the traveler would be to join the enemy. There would be no other way. Even so, I am proof otherwise. I move between. There's not only gray between black and white, all the colors are there. And am I not necessary? I'll be lost without those who lead me back to the light. But if I had not been there to guide them down into darkness, they would all be dead. Who would we become if we were all like Eris Morn? Ah, my walk is on fire. Literally, that's what it ends with. It ends with my walk is on fire. All right. Hope everybody's having a good evening. I may have to run inside real quick just to get something cold to drink, because I wish it were the dry heat. I really do. I wish it were the dry heat. I should be in Arizona with TD0013. No kidding. The scotch is nice, though. All right. Fire's low, so let me go on ahead and... let me stoke this puppy so we can get a little more light out of it. So, Chad, I hope it's been a good weekend for you all. Like I said, it certainly has been for me. Well, it's been a good week. It's going to be even better next week, because I got to... It seems like today's been the day for everybody to make calls, because I got a call earlier today. Oh, that's see, now that's the brightness I need. But I got a call today from my mom. She's coming up for a visit, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Haven't seen my mom in a long time, and because of COVID, she hasn't been able to really be mobile in any way, shape, or form. So I'm pretty stoked that she's actually going to be coming up here and just hanging out with us. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited. Oh, okay. Now, so that's what it looks like. So let me go back in here. Hold on one more second, chat. Okay, so the good news is now I have plenty of light to do fireside lore. The bad news is I'm telling you, hot as whale's balls. I need that breeze to come back in. Okay, third entry from the book of the singular exeget, white. The color white exists as a symbol of uniformity, sterility, and sameness. In light, there is only death. The same message VIP number 2014 received in the lunar pyramid. Again, uninteresting. I do not believe the darkness has returned to destroy the traveler. Surely, it could have done that while the traveler was maimed and stranded. Why wait for a sign that the light had returned to its strength? Perhaps the darkness has returned for us. Guardians are the traveler's final memorial. We are its selfless legacy and the last argument. Color white. Stasis, blankness, bone. Flag of truce. This is an opportunity. We must do as we did before, encounter the enemy's power, learn what we can, and report back. And if we return with nothing but beautiful and violent words, then we will study them as scripture and find some way to turn the enemy's power to our use, just as it wishes to turn us to its purpose. My walk is filthy with burnt oil. I need baking soda to clean it. But there is no Trona on Io. Instead, I bubbled carbon dioxide through sodium hydroxide. It burnt like hive blood, and retrieved enough soda to clean the walk. While I was scrubbing, a young guardian approached. She had a name, an ancient name, Akkadian, or perhaps Sumerian. She said that she had heard of me, and she wanted to help me search for knowledge. I snapped at her to bring it me a pineapple. I know. It was cruel. I love some of this stuff. I know I've said it before. I'll say it again. I would love a chance to write lore for Bungie. That would be a blast. Absolute blast. I know that the camera seems very dim. Hi, darling.
Hello.
Would you do me a favor? Would you get the mason jar of iced tea that I have? Because I tell you what, it's really hot.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Music of the night. Hear the children of the night.
Yes, children of the night. But instead of them being wolves, they are crickets. They are crickets. Guillermo, fetch me some crickets.
Guillermo, get the crickets to shut up.
Get the crickets to shut up. I can't get the wink of sleep.
It does sound like the ambient noise we put on at night.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does.
Oh, I covered myself in back spray to get in here.
Well, there you go. There's something. So the good news is that we're off and running with the lore, but the bad news is that the only way they can see us, because I've tried filters, there's no adjustment on the camera for me to lighten it up or open an aperture in that camera. And then to add insult to injury, the best thing to do is to just keep the fire going. And man, when the fire's going, we look great, but it gets really hot. It gets really, really hot.
We do have a ring light, but I think that would probably change
I
the
have no.
ambience.
I have no port for it. I'm all maxed out on my ports.
I have a computer with... No, I don't have a computer with a port.
No, you don't.
Damn it. Damn you, Apple.
Damn you, Apple, and damn you,
Taking
technology.
away my ports.
Let me see if I do have a... wait, is that... I don't think that's a... Nope, that is not a port. So, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
So we just have to make do with the fire in hand.
Ambiance. Let's just call it ambiance.
Ambiance.
Oh, it's hot as balls out here, though.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to do this with me tonight? I'm only going to do 10 and then I'm going to call it.
Okay, well, I'm here for that. I'm here for you, baby.
All right. Oh, TD0013 and Monkey both say happy birthday.
Hello,
Pip.
thank you.
They say happy birthday.
I just talked to my mum and dad after their...
How are they doing?
Much better than we are.
Yeah.
They're going to things like, have you heard of restaurants?
Ooh.
Inside dining?
See, when they say that New Zealand truly is a mystical place, it is because
Right now it is.
they're a country. They're a country that A, has a leader, and B, they listen to scientists when it comes to diseases.
Do you know what? You want to know the funny thing? They're having an election soon, and both of the people vying to be the prime minister, both women.
Oh wow! Oh really?
Yep. Sorry, men.
Is it are they gonna have the kind of like debates like we saw in that Cardi B music video?
Oh, maybe in your dreams.
In my dreams, absolutely.
Well, one of them you probably would
absolutely.
Not have, one of them you probably would not have dreams about. It's just. But that does not make her a bad politician. Well,
Gummy also says happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, Gummy.
And Quartermain also says happy birthday as well.
I caught a man.
All the birthday. Can I get some birthday hype in chat? Just go ahead and throw out some GGs, some steampunk hearts. I got a lot of subs in chat, so by all means, if you want the steampunk heart, you know what you have to do. You got to sub. But for those of you who are already subs, you can tell because you have the teacup next to your name. If you got a tea, I know. But you know what? Great for the pores.
Suffering for our art.
Suffering for our community.
That's
suffering for our
that's
community.
I love the music out here, though.
Yeah. It is nice, isn't it?
What is that?
All right, now you're the one with the is that exeget? Is that how it's pronounced?
Exeget, I would say. Exeget?
I got it, chat.
What is that creature?
Public education, right here, buddy. Right here. All right.
Is that like a?
What?
It's a weird noise. I just never heard that noise before.
It's a cricket.
Sounds like a bird going. I'm thinking it's Australian for a minute.
No, it's not. Okay. So these entries are entries from all the missions that we've been doing since the beginning of the season of arrivals. Mm. This is from these are all the lore that are tied back to means to an end. Okay. And this particular entry is called Cusp. This is a threat. The enemy implies we are on the edge of a second collapse. There are intimations of a repeated mistake, an error we will make again. Perhaps it is a demand for surrender. The collapse was a murder, a genocide. Why does the enemy imply it was our error? I was born long after the Golden Age, but I do feel loyalty to that time and compassion. Humanity, though it was immoral, humanity thought it was immortal. So do I. Once. What should have we learned from the collapse? That we are weak, obvious, and false? No. That we made errors in our defense. Our enemy is not a strategy instructor. No. That everything grown must die, hope is futile, etc. Tiresome. Death may be inevitable, but life is worth fighting for to protect and extend. No. That the traveler is using us for its own ends? Then why would it sacrifice itself? No. That the darkness is not our enemy. It is only the traveler's enemy. Does the enemy suggest that we should have turned on the traveler during the collapse? Cracked it like an egg? I see shades of the prisoner's dilemma that occupied Guangzan. If traveler and humanity cooperate, both suffer. If humanity maims the traveler and it tries to flee, both are destroyed. But if the traveler chooses to help us, and we turn against it, offer it to the enemy, The enemy suggests this would have been our salvation. For now, I subsist on thick pemmication. For now, I subsist on thick pemmican and vitamin paste. I crave fresh food. I must invite someone to share this meal I will someday cook. My palate is toughened. I will need a taster. Perhaps I should not have sent that Sumerian woman away. Okay, so I think I need to give Pip some backstory here. Yeah, Panic says these are cicadas.
There's a big one over in that tree then.
What are you talking about? There's a big one over on that
Listen
tree.
to that.
I don't know. Well, it's not in our bush.
No, it's over
you saw it in a tree. Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, this isn't Australia. It's not going to kill us.
No, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Pip a little backstory while I try to stoke the fire because
oh my God,
there's more heat.
I'm getting a hot flash right now.
I know, yeah.
But you're sharing it, so it's
I'm
okay.
sharing it with you, so yeah. All right. Oh.
Lord have mercy.
This thing is putting off a lot of heat.
I don't think you needed to start a log.
But no light.
Woo-wee! Oh, another log on the fire then.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put the clamp over here. So if you ever question, chat, how much do we love you guys? Here it is. We're gonna be like toasted. Our pores are never gonna feel.
Because it is kind of sweaty out here as well.
This is sweatier than trials, I'm telling you.
That's saying something.
That's saying something.
We might be able to pick up some more wood tomorrow. At Lidl!
At Lidl, yeah?
Yeah. Give me the next bit of lore and I shall read it.
So first I got to give you the backstory.
Well, no, you can give me that. And then you should give me this.
Okay, so here's the backstory. The backstory is that at the beginning of this season, Shadowkeep, there was an enemy that shows up and they say, "We are your salvation." So we didn't quite understand exactly what that meant. And then at the beginning of the season of Arrivals, slowly during the previous seasons, these black pyramids, the black pyramids that we all saw at the very end of Destiny 2, the very first story arc, yeah. They have been slowly making their way to the Traveler and to Earth since the end of Destiny 2, when the Traveler awakened. So now during the season of Arrivals, we've been getting these cryptic messages from the darkness that have been, I wouldn't say reaching out to us, but they have been talking to us. They've been trying to talk to us. And what's happening is we can't tell if the darkness is an enemy, if the darkness is friendly, or if the darkness is, it's kind of like we're trying to decide where is our allegiance. Is our allegiance with the Traveler, or do we turn the Traveler over to the darkness and they
crack it like an egg?
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
well, let's find out.
So we've been doing this. We've been doing these story missions called Means to an End, and these are the pieces of lore that we've been picking up. And this one is called
Gift.
Okay. Now you don't have to read. You won't have to read
there.
All right.
It's not my first rodeo, mate.
No, I was going to say the stuff in the brackets you don't have to read.
Oh, okay. No,
because they haven't. No, the reason why you don't have to read it is that they repeat in every one.
Oh, okay.
So there's a tonal change between the intro and then the parts that is scrawled in with the within the hive level.
Okay. Gift. Something new has blossomed in the cradle. A gift to reward my attention. Terrifies me. And the more afraid I am, the more I want to accept it. I came to learn from what I fear most. The more I am afraid, the more there is to learn. The shoot is a single silver branch with leaves like down. I think they are tiny feathers. Is it some thorn of Savuthans sent to bring disaster? No, I know it is not. That would be too simple. It is from the Black Pyramid. It was meant for me. I will let it grow and see if it bears fruit. It is true that I am watched by many guardians and doubted and mocked. But this is the price of connectedness. This is proof, no matter how bitter, that I am part of something larger. Others look to me for guidance, so I choose to be worthy of that trust. I choose to tell Zavala what I have found. I will even invite him to see it.
So there's division. There's division happening here within all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I know, TD. I know. Sorry. Twitch Jam, forgive me for being sappy, but I was very alone today.
Aw.
And I really am appreciative of a moment with y'all this evening. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a lot of loneliness out there.
There's a hint of isolation that we're all kind of feeling right now. To me, this is kind of what I started doing this fireside lore around the time we started dealing with the quarantine.
Yeah.
And I did this as a way panic of saying, you know what? Let's do something old fashioned.
Let's huddle around the fire.
Let's huddle around the fire, hot as balls as it is.
It'll get cooler. It'll be fall and soon, and we'll.
Because I'm gonna keep doing this even into winter. And my aim for fireside lore is to not only.
You could bring it inside. We have a gas fire, so
we do have a gas fire, but then I guess we would just like position the camera so you could see the fireplace. If it gets too cold or anything like that.
Yeah, we're not going to be like 15 inches of snow. You're not going to be out here.
No.
We're not Canadian.
No, we're not. We're not. But that was the whole idea. That was part of the idea of fireside lore, was that it would be something where it would feel like a connection. It would feel something where
there's something always very primitive about sitting around a fire, sharing,
telling stories and things like that. Yeah,
telling stories.
I know that Steve Saylor, friend of the stream, Steve Saylor, he loves the fact that I'm doing fireside lore, and he loves that whole. He's like, this is just so you, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I think you're right. This is something that I would do, and I enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy this. This is a lot of fun. But I don't think we're going to get to all 21. I did get a 21.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do all 21 tonight.
We will bake and sweat ourselves into puddles by then.
So let's move on to.
Let's move it along.
This is the book. This is from the book The Singular Exeget, and this is Contrast. Another rhetorical gambit. The enemy presents itself as part of a natural cycle, like a stalking wolf. It simply obeys its nature. How can we hate it for that? There are jaded guardians, strangers to true loss, who claim that the traveler has ulterior motives. TD0013.
You're calling him jaded?
No, I'm calling him that he claims that the traveler has ulterior motives.
Most of us do.
The darkness is a natural force. They worship gray. For them, the line between right and wrong is fine as silk and just as easy to cut. Fools. Evil is real, even in a world of gray. It must be named and fought, because left unchecked, it takes everything. Those who excuse and deny evil's existence are its greatest allies. Those who mistake its causes for moral justification are its favorite pawns. Anyone else find that kind of timely?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'll get back into it. Sorry. Those who excuse and deny evil's existence are its greatest allies. Those who mistake its causes for moral justification are its favorite pawns. Yet the pyramid challenges me. Would not the light destroy the darkness, just as darkness would destroy the light? Why do we call a change evil when it is natural and inevitable, like Earth's winters or the sun's spots? Because some changes must be resisted. If we did not prepare for winter, we would die in it. We would cease to exist. So now I find myself using the enemy's philosophy. to justify my opposition to the enemy. A neat little trap. Is winter evil? It causes evil. It leads us into evil choices through scarcity and pain. But winter is the result of natural circumstance. Even if it had a mind, it could never choose to become an endless summer. It would always hurt us, simply by being itself. Does that make it evil? And if we were to build shelters and weapons out of ice, would we become evil? Survival in winter requires witchcraft. Survival in darkness requires a new idea of good and evil. One that will not collapse into moral indifference. Or we will all be dredgeons in the end.
Okay. I like the philosophical questions that are being posed here.
The crack on dredgeons, that's one Brandon would appreciate.
Ooh, okay.
All right, you gonna move on?
Yep.
All right, I'm sitting back on this one, chat.
Yes.
That's a word I love to hear my wife say, especially when can I get something new for the stream? And she goes, yes.
Never hear that.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Report by VanNet encrypted router. Elapse. Nothing meaningful emerged from our work this time except vague affirmation. Perhaps I have misinterpreted the results. Personal notes scoured in hive leather with a knife. Yes. It approves of my interest. It encourages me. When darkness reaches out for you, you should flinch away. But I do not. This approval excites me. Am I already in its power? Is this a declaration of its triumph? When I was a guardian, I went on a dive to gather salvage from an ancient submarine. We plunged so deep that the air itself became intoxicating. Hypnotized by our own beauty, we stared into each other's helmets, drunk on our distance from the world. But when we surfaced, agony. I feel that depth pressing on me now. My fingers and my ears ache. The enemy's excitement terrifies me. It cannot give. It cannot be made to give. The fallen call it that astonishing ability to evade being robbed. It can only take. What could this yes mean except that it has taken something from me? My course is set. I did not tell Zavala. I take this into myself in the hope of helping others. A small space. The Sumerian woman returned at last. She found an archaeology garden on Titan. On the manifest, pine apple. Pine apples are real. She is a power, this guardian, but there are many as bright or brighter. It is perseverance that makes the difference. We will see if this one perseveres. I sent her to bring me pine apple seeds. Her name is Enenia. She has white, innocent eyes. I will not give up my work. Not until I have fried rice with pineapple and raisins. And not until I know exactly what is coming. You know what? I love pineapple with fried rice with pineapple.
We're freaks of nature. We like pineapple on pizza.
I love pineapple. It's the gift of the gods and part of the South Pacific heritage. You know when people complain about not putting pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you just disrespected my culture.
I know. So yeah, so what you missed earlier is that in earlier entries, this guardian or this scientist, he is building a wok. He has built a wok.
Well, that's a useful
and
thing
he is
to,
trying to
have fried rice.
He's trying to have fried rice. Yeah.
God, I love fried rice.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate. I'd do that in the apocalypse.
There you go. All right. Hey, Danny, how are you? Good to see you, Danny.
Oh, I think we're in the darkness completely.
We're in the darkness again. So I'm gonna throw something on the fire.
Not me.
Not you. Because we need to have.
Whoo, sweaty sweat.
We need to have the sweaty McSweats.
I hope you appreciate our sweaty McSweats for this.
All right.
Whoo, I need a fan and a ring light. Can you get ring lights that have already got cameras in them? Because that would probably be a solution to your problem right there.
It would be, but unfortunately with the way this is set up, it doesn't work that way.
Well, if you had one piece that was...
Hey, Steven Spielberg, you weren't out here helping me, so I would...
No, I mean like buying one. Like a special one?
I don't think they have anything like that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm trying to keep the camera powered. I'm trying to keep the camera powered. I'm trying to keep I'm trying to keep the mic powered.
There's a lot of
things.
You're working a lot of angles.
We're working a lot of angles here, man. And you know, this is honestly the only other way it would work is if I brought a hub out here, like a tiny hub, and plugged in the light. The only thing I'm worried about with the ring light, and this is weird because we didn't have this problem the last couple of times we did this.
Maybe it was a little lighter.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh look, I can see us now, vaguely.
What I think I'm going to try to do next time is have a secondary light source, but have it. We
have a teenager with a phone. She could be standing off to one side.
Oh yeah, that would work. That would work really well.
For a while.
That would work really well. You keep telling yourself that would work. Got
to make use of them.
Yeah. I will probably try the ring light next time. Next time we do something like that.
We'll try that. Kind B.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the sweaty McSweats.
Sweaty McSweats. So I'm saying that these two things in the brackets, most, if not all of the entries have them, so you don't necessarily have to read them. Wow. There's just a tonal shift between this part and the part that's in the
my tonal shift.
Okay. She's a method reader.
It's a trick
of the trade.
It's a trick of the trade.
Yeah,
I like to.
Trick of the trade.
Me and Gielgud. That's how we roll. Whew, one side of my face is really warm.
Keep that breeze going.
And the other side, the breeze is hitting. It's real nice.
Yeah, it's real nice. All right, here we go. This piece of lore is called Unborn. Ooh. It preaches the philosophy of the Book of Sorrow, yours, Scripture, and the unveiled fragments. The traveler is a false creator, guarding its creations with false law. We are dead things made in the shape of the dead. The only true law is violent winnowing. Whatever we cannot hold onto the existence does not deserve existence, and so forth. At least it's consistent. The enemy suggests that our rebirth was an evil mistake. How Gnostic. They were a cult, a fleet, a school, a horde, who believed that the source of all suffering was not in our poor choices, but an error of the world's creator, a false, deluded God. Mara would laugh or weep. Was my rebirth an evil? Is it true that guardians are reborn to face pain? We are endlessly besieged by a tortured cosmos. Secretly, I believe that most of us fall to exhaustion. Our ghosts love us and let us curl up inside to rest. My ghost, Briya, died to save me. If she were returned, would I want immortality again? I do fear immortality without choice. I would not want to go on as a prisoner in Vexglass, or a spirit trapped in the sea of screams. But my life is not a prison or a trap. It is not.
Oh. That's an interesting sounding cricket.
They're going deep. They're going deep on this. Okay.
That's my next one.
Purity. Purity is your next one. And by the way, Chad, if you have any questions for us about the lore, about the game Destiny, I can answer that. If you have questions about the game Ghost of Tsushima, this is the woman you want to talk to.
I only played it like a little bit, so...
You played it for nearly 10 hours.
Oh, I suppose.
You're closing in on the 10-hour mark, yeah.
Most of it's just stumbling around, trying to learn how to dodge.
Well,
but I watched Gamer Granny, and I learned a strat.
Yep.
I learned a new strat. So
that we did.
From a 94-year-old.
Yep. Hey, Guinness World Record holder. Thank you very much.
Man, she is so chill. That woman.
She is super chill.
When
you watch me in Destiny, you know that I have zero chill. But this woman is just...
She was playing Resident Evil like it was...
Man, but she was playing Resident Evil like it was Animal Crossing. It was amazing to watch.
That's a good example.
Amazing to watch.
All right. Purity. This logograph suggests purification through reduction, ablution, or sacrifice. It may draw an ironic comparison between the Taken and our own relationship to the Traveller. I am sure the idea that we are light Taken is a popular heresy, but the difference should be plain. We did not lose the capacity to choose. We made our own fate. The translation is not as clear as I suggested to Zavala. As I told my friend, purity is hardly pure of meaning. There are many interpretations. As a student of Hive lore, purity makes me recall the final shape, that which remains when all that can be removed has been removed. But the Hive are a skeletal cult of misery and reduction. The true enemy is rich with nuance. It challenges me. Why does the Traveller strip us of our old identities? As a guardian, I never craved a past. Everything I cared for was in front of me. I could see my people. I could touch them. I could fight for them. But then I lost my ghost and the light. Trapped in the gunpowder tunnels of the disemboweled moon, I cursed the Traveller. It left no childhood memories to comfort me, no parents or cherished friends waiting in the city, no one to whom I could devote my return. Just Ariana, Sai, Omar, and Val haunting me. Of course, I have never considered this before. There is a more generous interpretation of the Traveller's amnesia. The Traveller believes that if we are freed of our past wounds and fears, given power and a new start, we will choose to be good. We will abandon all lesser causes to defend humanity. We will choose others over ourselves. Perhaps this is why the Traveller never speaks. Its voice is too loud to be anything but coercion. It waits, breathless, for us to make our own choice. Anina's ghost sent me a message. She found viable pineapple seeds in an archaeology vault. She wants me to grow them. Get that shit on pizza.
There you go. So that little chord that you heard earlier, it was a reminder that I have an interview coming up on the Guardian Hub.
Ooh.
They heard me on they actually watched some of our streams, and they wanted me to come on to Guardian Hub and talk. And I thought for a moment that it was happening right now. It's happening next week. So
okay.
So
we can't do Firside Lore this time.
We can't do this time next week. But I mean, from what I'm gathering, it's not going to be as cool. Big quotes around cool on that. Okay. But yeah, Chad, if you've got any questions for us about writing, we're both published authors of science fiction and fantasy. If you have any questions about writing, about storytelling by the fire, audio productions, because we both produce audiobooks, feel free to ask, and we will take questions in between lore pieces.
In between Sweaty McSweatsweats.
And Sweaty McSweatsweats, of course. Okay. Ooh, pardon me. We are now moving into conviction. Conviction. The enemy is convinced of the righteousness of its cause. Uninteresting. I saw a strange ghost yesterday. lurking among my supplies. Normally, they do not come this close, even when the guardians do. They fear possession by the pyramid. But this one had the air of a spy. The enemy warns me of great atrocities couched in valor, violence born from supreme conviction. This message is an extension of the camouflage logograph, a warning against my own comrades. Sometimes death comes not from a disease, but the body's immune reaction. Under pressure, oxygen becomes poison. Good things, Mara says, can make us sick. Zavala is not a martinet. He is a strategist. His guardians are all tacticians. They love when something grand, new threat appears. But when it is defeated, they become restless, and they use their bold victories as proof that Zavala is a timid leader. But he is not swayed by the hot-blooded elite. He fears victory disease. What will happen when our mighty newborn guardians, accustomed to this swift victory, meet a grinding, tedious foe? And he worries for the thousands and thousands of weaker light-bearers who rush after their heroes and die forever. No more ghosts are being created. We are pouring from a shallow cup. He would do anything to protect the last city. Such is his conviction. Would he kill me if he thought I was turned? I think it would wound him horribly, but he does love to be hurt by his duty. Anania returned with the pineapple seeds. Io does not support agriculture, so I made loam out of treated soil, asteroid powder, and a bacterial paste that looks like bouillon. I will plant the pineapple seeds in this little garden. I hope their roots are not too big. I have only a little room to grow. Okay.
Ha! I like this one.
Yes, that seems appropriate for you.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Not because it has to do with her, chat, but it sometimes has to do with me.
Petulant. A rebuke to Savathun. Savathun. Yeah. A rebuke for Savathun for her interference. Perhaps she is jealous of our direct access to the pyramid. She led the hive to the darkness, but she has had eons to regret that choice. Could we exploit this? I find the Guardian's collective study humiliating. Their channels are full of open speculation about me. Is she a hapless lackey of Queen Mara? An ancient proto-hive matron? And why did she offer to trade a bag of quartz chip data stores for a pound of breadfruit? Savathun, queen of all encrypts. Savathun, who has distorted these messages so badly that only the tenacious drifter can unscramble them. Why does the hive trickster want to prevent our contact with her god? Simplest answer, it is all a trick. You did exactly as I required, is her retort to any defeat. How can her plans be foiled when no one understands what they are? But would she dare defy the deep itself? Perhaps she would. Savathun's wretched existence is bound to the need to confuse. To understand her is to destroy her. Is she still set on luring us into a black hole, some newborn universe where she can be a true god? Or was that a lie too? Am I on the verge of some discovery that threatens her? Jupiter is always straight above. At night, the whole sky is afire. Tons of sulfur burning in the flux tube that connects Io. Tons of sulfur burning in the flux tube that connects Io to the Jovian pole. I burn my trash, and the smoke drifts up forever. The radio howls like wolves. I am lonely. Aren't we all, darling? Aren't we all? Everyone's lonely right now.
Okay. I think we're also nearing, by the way, I think we're nearing the end of this book, which we're currently going through in Destiny, which is going to be really interesting to see what comes next. I know, Panic, you just downloaded the game, so remember, if you are looking to take on this adventure and you need help, by all means, you're more than welcome to reach out. You're more than welcome to reach out. I would love to Sherpa you through a couple of missions. You know that Spence is out here, Nick is out here, Brandon's out here. By all means, feel free to reach out. We would love to Sherpa you through this if you are truly curious about this this grand universe that we're all traipsing through. Real quick though, Pip has started Ghost of Tsushima, and I cannot impress upon you how beautiful of a game this is. Chat, if you've been curious about this game, this is an absolutely stunning game, and I love it. I love it.
And it's got a pretty horse.
Yeah, a lovely horse, and we are we're gonna have some fun with that in Philippus Freaky Friday. But as far as me, I've got to finish Last of Us Part 2 first. I've got to finish Last of Us, and then I will decide whether or not I'm going to return to Batman or actually start my own Ghost of Tsushima adventure. Okay, so this one is called Camouflage, also from the singular exeget. Meaning unclear, perhaps simply a threat. We are hidden closer than you know. Now I'm hiding the truth even from my own friend. I do not want to make them distrust the Vanguard, but I am sure that this warning is genuine, and that it points to a threat in our own ranks. There are inflections to this logograph that speak of a killer hidden in plain sight. I must not become paranoid as Kuang Zhang did, but I think the warning is for me. I think the enemy wants me safe from my own kind, so that I will continue to receive its messages and share them with my friend. Is that my true purpose? Am I only a conduit for their corruption? I am convinced that the absolute interdict upon knowledge of the darkness is misguided. We can understand the enemy without falling under its sway. If I can pass through darkness and return, so can others, perhaps under my guidance. Perhaps I can be a teacher. Mara would be horrified if she knew, afraid for me, but my queen herself still works his power. Can communion with the Black Fleet be so much more dangerous? I planted the pine apples. They have already blossomed. The Golden Age agriculturalists must have tweaked them for growth and hardiness. Little purple thistles. They delight me. Ariana asks after their health. I am suspicious of her. She is too eager to please, and who knows which faction that snooping ghost reports to. Was it hers? Oh, it's getting good.
Yeah.
Getting good.
So there's two more in this.
There's two more in this. Hang on a minute. Quarterman comments, it is crazy how much Savathun is wrapped in mystery and yet so menacing that she gets her own expansion. Yeah, Savathun is she's like the new Oryx, you know. She and I've always had a thing about Savathun. My favorite strike in the game is actually based around her. It's the strike on Titan, Savathun's song, and it's just a blast to play. It's an absolute blast to play.
Okay. Ready?
Panic. Always remember, bullet goes into opponent. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. That is very true.
It's like
Okay.
Ghosts of Tsushima.
So
Tsushima.
How much have you had to drink?
This is my second hard mic.
It's the heat, isn't it? The heat's doing
It
this
is.
to you.
Yeah, I went inside and the air conditioning hit me and I was like, oh, yeah.
I don't want to go back outside. All right.
Okay,
All right.
here we go.
This one is called?
Falling. Another threat of imminent disaster. You declared a new golden age, and our enemy declares a second collapse. They imply it is already in motion. Alarming. Free fall is indistinguishable from a stable orbit until you strike the ground. Are we already falling? Is our doom fixed? Have I missed the signs this time? I should ask Osiris. I should ask Akora. I should ask my queen. I should conjure Richard Toland from the sea of screens and wring the truth from him. But would I be believed? There goes old Eris, they will say, howling about fingertips and revenge again. She is lonely, so she prophesies doom. Zavala would believe me, but he would also call me in for rest. Akora would set me in a library and take care of me, and I would be too glad of it to leave. I cannot. I cannot. Even my queen knows that some secrets must be kept in solitude. She will understand. She trusts me. I look forward to sharing a meal together.
If she's
Maybe
talking
pineapples.
Maybe pineapples will be on the menu. Okay. So I think, chat, this piece is going to wrap up tonight's
session?
Fireside Lord. Yeah. There are 14. Oh, look at that! Just got a follow. Just got a follow from Catabri. Catabri, thank you very much for that follow. Certainly do appreciate it. Sorry the camera is not picking up a little more light, but we cannot conjure up any more from this particular fire to illuminate us. But you were watching Fireside Lore right now.
You could just turn the camera on the fireside, and at least they'd have something to look at.
That's true. Why don't I go ahead and do that for the final one?
For the final one.
For the final one.
Because everyone loves to look at a fire.
Yeah, it's
Or
kind
a
of comforting.
burning Darth Vader, whichever.
Okay, so baby,
I'll tell you when
watch
it's good.
this.
Down a little bit. Perfection.
All right.
So you can hear our voices and see the fire.
There you go. Just so you can so that you can see. Oh, Catabri said, "I've been a fan of you and Pip for a decade."
Oh my goodness!
So I think this is someone from the. I take it you're a fan of. You're probably a fan of the Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences and things like that. Because if you are, thank you very much for supporting that.
Yes,
We appreciate that. This is one of our other sides. This is our gamer geek side, and what you are watching right now is something called Fireside Lore. There's the fireside to prove it.
and we're beside it.
Since you can't see us, we're going to go ahead and do that as the alternative, is to see the fire. But you can hear the crickets, the cicadas, maybe a couple of frogs. But
Unidentified strange creatures that may be Sasquatch.
They are not Sasquatch. We don't have Sasquatch out here. We don't have Sasquatch out here.
That's what they always said.
We don't have Sasquatch out here.
Or bears,
We do have bears.
coyotes.
Yeah, we do have coyotes out here too. Yeah, we gotta be careful.
So,
But you know what? If we die on stream, it's gonna be
the ratings should be good,
It's
right?
gonna do great things. Gonna get a lot of subs, a lot of follows, a lot of hearts in chat.
And
So
some
fantastic.
viral,
Some viral action happening there. So there you go.
But we'll have to fall into the fire as we get mauled.
That's true. So Kat, thank you very much for that follow. And now we're going to wrap up this evening of Fireside Lore with the last entry from the Singular Exeget book. This is called Contact. At last, another substantive message. The enemy's influence in our system may be more extensive than we realize. You must look for signs of its effect, errors or crashes in Vex constructs, eruptions of empowered or self-destructive hive sorcery, newly created scorn, rebels, and expeditions by the worshippers of the Narcissist Emperor. Our enemies are turning to the darkness. The Red Legion is broken, the Almighty destroyed. The remaining Cabal will either join Callus's death cult or seek his daughter, Kaitiel. And the Fallen, we have driven them to the edge of survival, turned them against each other. How many will look to the whirlwind for an advantage over their rivals? By pushing them from the light, we have groomed more supplicants for the darkness. We are in an arms race. If we do not learn to use our greater enemy's power, our lesser enemies surely will. I confronted Enina about the strange ghost. It was not hers, she protested. I asked her why she had been so generous to me, so eager to please. She confessed that she had come on behalf of her fire team, guardians who are champions in Drifter's strange games. They wish to learn the ways of the darkness itself, to descend into the underworld like ancient Inua, and return. They want what I have learned there, how easily they might be corrupted. And yet it thrills me to know that I would not be alone in my work. I sent her away. I fear the Witch Queen's spies. The pineapple blossoms are still growing, but now I stare at the purple flowers in the black soil, and I wonder about poison. I am no longer hungry. That's the last book.
Interessante. How many bits of lore was that altogether?
That was, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Okay.
Which means we have 7. We have 7 entries left. But I want to save those for another night.
They might grow as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get more lore? They have to turn in...
Well, no, that's the entire book.
Oh, yes, but
that's the entire book.
How do people get us to do more?
Well, people get lore by... first off, to get lore, if you look at the bottom part of the chat interface, you will see something that looks like a golden steampunk gear. Or golden gear. Just it doesn't have to be steampunk, but we make it steampunk because we write steampunk. But it's a golden gear. You click on that and you'll see all the different things you can redeem for when you watch the channel. You redeem, you earn golden gears, and then you can redeem them. And when you hit 10,000, you can redeem 10,000 golden gears for one piece of lore. So far up to this point, we have had 21 redemptions. So we took care of 14 of those tonight, and I think that's where we should end it because, 1, it's really hot out here, and 2, that took up an entire book. Also, 3, tomorrow morning I have to run 4 miles, so I've got to run ahead, which means I really should get some sleep. But I wanted to go on ahead and at least get one book out because I've been sitting on this lore, this fireside lore for quite some time.
Well, we had a lot of thunderstorms. So.
We had a lot of thunderstorms. We had a lot of rain, and
and some nights it's just been too.
It's just stinking hot, and this is the best. It's stinking hot tonight, but this is the best stinking hot it's been. It's been the best of the stinking hot. So really, what I normally do is I wait until I get like 10, and then I'll take those 10, and then that will be one night. I had 21 when I started, before I started the first one, but we read through 14, which means we have 7 left, and I will probably try to find a book that has 7 solid entries, and then we will definitely go on ahead and we will we'll come back out here and we'll read again. Will we read again in the month of August? It depends on the weather. It really does depend on the weather. It's real hard.
I know next week it's supposed to be thunder and stuff again.
Thunder, and I also have my appearance on this other podcast next week, so that won't be happening. But if we find a night where it cools off, where it won't be in. I'm curious now. At least according to my weather app, it says it is
balls hot. 79.
Yeah,
That's warm.
It's a cool 79 degrees.
Phew, what's that in Celsius?
You really want to know in Celsius, darling?
Yeah, you should tell me in Celsius.
I should tell you in Celsius.
Because my parents were complaining about how cold it was, and I was like, oh, really?
Well, let me tell you something.
It is
in Celsius
26 degrees at night.
At night.
That's almost as hot as it gets regularly in Wellington in summer.
And the best bit is we got a fire going.
And we got the humidity, I suppose, up the wazoo.
Yeah. So that's what you have.
We like whinging about the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what humans do, whinge about the weather.
Yeah, we whinge about
it's
the
too
weather.
hot, it's too cold, it's...
Oh, and guess what? Gamer Cat joined us.
No, that's best.
Are you sure that's best?
That's best.
That's big boy! Okay. Sorry. One of the cats is in the window. You can't see it. Obviously, you wouldn't see it with it being as dark as it is too. But next time I will try to have the thing with the camera cracked so that you can see us and still see the fire flickering in the corner, because that's what I was going for. And yeah, we but no, we enjoy bringing you Fireside lore. It's really a lot of fun. It's a good time. We're just going to let AutoHost do its thing as we wrap this up. But thank you all for joining us tonight. This has been an absolute blast. We will be doing this again, so I can get the other 7 entries. Pip will join me again, but until then, thank you all very much for joining us. It has been our pleasure to bring you some of Bungie's lore from the game Destiny 2. And we look forward to having you join us again by the fireside. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Night.